Hey, what's up guys? John here. Tens of millions of Americans have stopped paying their credit cards, their auto loans, their bills.
Americans are struggling with the rising cost of everyday items, falling behind in some cases on expenses like car loans and credit cards.
Subprime auto delinquencies are actually worse now than they were during the Great Recession.
And the reason for it, interest rates are through the roof and the cost of living is astronomical. It is getting out of control. And so when you look at what people are searching online, you look at Google Trends, you'll see very, very clearly we're in the beginning of this stage 5 hurricane. I'm going to break this down for you. I'm going to show you the facts. I'm going to show you what people are looking at, where the searches are, where the activity is, and what's likely going to be coming for Q1 and Q2 of 2024, and why you need to position yourself to prepare for what I think is going to be the greatest wealth transfer of all time. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's really going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for this wealth transfer, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description below this video to schedule a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So this search term, interest over time, parabolic, ever since student loans became due October 1st, right? So it had a very similar normal trend here, little bump, in 2020, and then boom, look at this. We go all the way back. Only one other time, this is a 20-year chart, only one other time has it beat that, right? Even during the great financial crisis, we were 2007, 55, and now it's 69, right? So you look at credit card defaults or credit card default through the roof, dating back 20 years. There's nothing even close. Even going to the GFC, the great financial crisis, 57, look where we are now, 100, right? Through the roof, just breaking Google's trends. Look at repossessions, also launching. All of this is just happening now, the last 30 days. Why? Think about this. Think about the student loan crisis. We're walking into the holidays. People are going to be leaning more on their credit cards, traveling more. They're going to be spending more. And people are going to be looking at this saying, you know what? I'm using the credit card interest calculators. I see I owe $10,000 or $20,000 at a 30% interest rate. I'm going to pay back $180,000 in interest. Some obscene amount of money. People realize this and they're saying, well, I'll never get out of the hole, so why am I paying? Right? This is what's happening. People are looking at this, and the same thing with these auto loans. 125% is the average auto loan in America. What they do is they put zero down, roll taxes, tags, fees, everything into the loan, and they're looking at this car in the driveway saying, you know what? I paid $50,000 for it, $40,000 for it. Now it's worth $30,000. It's worth $28,000. Insurance is through the roof. Gas prices are crazy. I'm not going to pay. Take the car back, right? So you're starting to look at this, and it's just, we're in the beginning. We're in the beginning of this. Corporate bankruptcies. 3 weeks ago, U.S. corporate bankruptcies accelerate in third quarter as 2023 rivals 2020 as worst year in more than a decade. Right? U.S. corporate bankruptcies pick up in speed in September with 62 new filings 4 weeks ago. So you start to look at these trends, and you're seeing very, very, very clearly that we are going to walk into what I think is going to WeWork. Landlords also, WeWork stepped into bankruptcy as well. You're starting to look at this situation as what I think is going to be 2024 is going to be the rug pull on the American middle class. That's what we're walking into. The rich are about to get a hell of a lot richer. But I do believe that the middle class still has a lot of opportunity, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money. But you got to be very, very cautious and careful with what you're doing, how you're spending money, where you're investing, because you're going to start to see some things happen that you would never imagine. For example, bank runs. People have talked about this for a very, very long time. Is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? But you start to see all these things that are happening with Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic and PacWest getting acquired by Bank of California. And then you had the financial institution that collapsed just 24 hours ago. So you're starting to look at all this. And now Switzerland, right? Switzerland banks and talks about new measures to prevent, and they're talking about right here, prevent bank runs. Bloomberg, right? 2 days ago. But then Bloomberg, interestingly, says 1 day ago that not weighing limits on bank deposits, right? They're not going to weigh the limits on this. So they say one thing and they do another, right? Here, Swiss authorities bank molds new rules. All of this, like the last 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. So they're talking about this. What is a bank run 6 days ago? So Credit Suisse intervention avoided financial crisis. Again, all about running the banks. So you start to look at this, you have to ask yourself, Are they getting ready for something very, very big? Are they getting ready for something very big? Because what I'm seeing is consumers don't have any money. They're defaulting on their bills like never before. And these lenders are in very, very, very big trouble. Commercial real estate, all of these asset classes they've been lending on are performing very, very poorly. Even, bank deposits. You have this situation with, on Friday, you had U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, all these different banks saying that there was a delay with ACH deposits where, a lot of customers couldn't get access to their money. You have to ask yourself, what are the odds? And then this just came out a couple of days ago, $40 billion in unrealized losses since JP Morgan Chase's Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup face exposure to U.S. Treasuries. JP Morgan Chase has quietly revealed tens of billions of dollars in losses on securities, according to a new report in the company's overall balance sheet. The banking giant, is now stuck with roughly $40 billion in unrealized bond losses in Q3 of this year, which is a 20% rise over the previous quarter. The new numbers were located in the footnote of the firm's third quarter financial supplement and were weighing higher than the expected $34 billion in losses. The news follows a new quarterly report from Bank of America revealing it now is a total of $131.6 billion of unrealized losses. Although Wells Fargo and Citigroup have also reported third quarter earnings, they have yet to reveal the latest stats on their own unrealized losses. In Q2 of this year, Wells Fargo said it had $40 billion in unrealized bond losses, while Citigroup had $25 billion in paper losses. The danger of unrealized losses came into focus early this year amid the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. The bank's sudden failure back in March was sparked by an announcement it had booked $1.8 billion in losses from selling a portion of its underwater bond portfolio. As a whole, Moody's estimates that the U.S. banking industry is facing approximately $650 billion in unrealized losses. Those losses stemmed from a historic collapse of bonds and the Fed push to keep interest rates higher for longer. But you have to remember, these bond losses, unrealized for now, but as consumers pull their money out, they will have to sell at a loss, and that is how Silicon Valley Bank fell. When you're looking at where consumers are right now, you're seeing a very, very different picture. You have 8.4 million Americans right now holding multiple jobs. You have 2 out of 3 Americans, they can't cover a $400 expense. And they're seeing all these bank issues. They're seeing a lot of concern in the economy. They're pulling more money out than ever before, right? And at the same exact time, 43.5 million Americans had to start paying their student loans October 1st. 43.5 million. The average is $460, right? The overall average student loan monthly payment is $460. So the big question is, if 2 out of 3 cannot cover a $400 emergency expense, how are they going to cover a $460 monthly reoccurring expense? They are not. People are going to start prioritizing where they are spending their money, who is going to get paid, who is not going to get paid. Banks are going to be in very, very, very big trouble. They're in hot water for 2024, especially as you have $2 trillion in commercial loans that has to get refinanced for real estate, and you have $2 trillion in corporate debt that has to get refinanced. So you're going to start seeing a lot more layoffs. The job market is going to change. But with all the uncertainty that's happening in the economy, you are going to see a lot of people making smart moves. Look at 2008, 2009, 2010. A lot of people got hurt, but also a lot of people made a lot of money. A lot of people made really strategic bets. They invested in real estate. They did things when everyone else was afraid. The saying is true. The real money is made when the masses are afraid. And I think we're going to be walking into a period where there's going to be a lot of fear across nearly every asset class. And that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of people come out there and invest. Single-family rentals, for example. I think we're going to see a lot of people investing in single-family rentals. MetLife Insurance, CNBC, a lot of the mainstream came out saying that they believe 40% of all single-family homes will be owned by institutional investors by 2030. 6 years. 40%. That's an 800% increase from where it is right now. So you start to think about this. As borrowing costs continue to rise, people have a harder time getting access to loans and funding. What's going to happen? People are going to start to default. They're going to start selling off assets. And when you're positioned, you have great credit, you have cash in the bank, you have a good business, you're going to put yourself in a position to grow tremendous wealth. That's what I think is going to happen. I believe we're going to see some people from the middle class rise and really do extremely well over the next couple of years. We're going to see others that ignore all these stats, ignore the facts, ignore what's really going on, And because of it, they might miss out on one of the greatest investing opportunities of all time. So that's what I think is going to happen. 2024, 2025, it's going to be a very, very challenging year for some, but a massive opportunity for a lot of other people. Look at this trend though. When you start to look at these Google trends, you see very, very clearly that America is overextended in a very big way. And a lot of things are going to start being sold. Cars, watches, artwork, jewelry, real estate, land, you name it, people are going to start selling. Most of the multifamily properties, the duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, those great entry-level deals are owned by small business owners, mom and pop investors. What do these mom and pop investors do as this economy starts falling apart? They sell. That's what I think is going to happen. We're going to walk into the greatest investing opportunity in American history over the next 24 months. What do you think? Do you think we're walking into it? Drop below. We'll have a conversation about it. If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description. Schedule a free strategy session. I'll catch you guys in the next video.